I was going to call this the Sam Labatt edition of the roundtable, but for anyone that follows Sam Labatt's post, that it's his birthday.
Don't know him.
Oh, okay, that's all right. You obviously don't look on the Facebook page. It's just literally
I'm
past
not on
it for
Facebook.
weeks. Is that because you're banned?
No,
Malcolm,
it's the work of the devil, that Facebook. It was invented by Satan, that Facebook was, and he runs it completely. Satan does. So,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
Talking of Satans, I don't know how that's actually fitted into Leon. Obviously, Leon delivers for Jeff Bezos. So
oh yeah, same thing, same person. That is.
Wow.
No, I'm with you on Facebook, Malcolm.
Yeah, it's the work of the devil. Yeah, just get off it. I haven't missed it, I must admit.
Just binned it.
Best place for it.
Yeah. And you went back to MySpace.
Yeah.
Friends reunited, Leon.
Oh, blimey, remember that one? Jesus.
That's where all the action was.
Just sent an email off to, what's his name? Who's the councillor? Paul. Who's the one that Billy was going on about?
Paul Barnett.
Yeah, no, I sent him an email.
Yeah.
I want to get him on the podcast.
Oh.
Get him talking about.
Yeah, I might miss that week.
Best we all do, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to get what their vision is. Outside of what Hastings say, what is their vision for the town in terms of sport and facilities?
Are they really interested in sport and facilities? I don't think any council are interested in that, Chris, are they?
You think, for instance, Eastbourne seem to be a little bit more conducive to their sporting venues, isn't they? I mean,
Eastbourne have been planning to knock down and do something instead of the Sovereign Centre for donkey's years now. They've been meaning to do something with that for years and years and years now. But I think it's the same thing. I just think the money is all there. The only money they've got is used to address immediate problems now, isn't it? And sport and that isn't one of them. The fact that sport will give them health benefits for the community in 20 years' time is not really where they're at. That's the problem, isn't it? They're all squeezed to the bone.
Good point.
They look for immediate. That's the biggest problem, I think, isn't it? They all need immediate fixes for something.
I know, but you want to bring people into the town.
Yeah.
It's all good advertising, isn't it, for the town? If you've got something in that town doing well, or being utilised.
Well, just build something like they did with the roller coaster, just where they plonked that roller coaster on the seafront, and it was just became a fait accompli, didn't it? So we could all just go and build a stadium somewhere and say, there you go, what are you going to do about it?
You were that one on Facebook, weren't you? The Old Town Facebook. You build a roller coaster there?
No. I think it's pretty cool actually. But that seems to be the modus operandi of most of these people, is to just build something and then worry about the problems afterwards.
I'm sure James Earl Jones said that, didn't it? Build it and they will come.
Yeah.
That's
build it and build it and they will walk along the seafront as it is in the.
Old Darth Vader was quite wise, wasn't he? Come up with stuff like that.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Right. Yeah. Thank you, gents. Yet another round table. Yet another big win for the Hastings. Both the men and women's team. Great victories. Obviously, we're playing Three Bridges. I know some of you were a little bit nervous about that before the game from my review last week. But as I wasn't nervous, it was a very comfortable victory, I felt. As you were all there, who wants to start first?
Can Malcolm give the players' view of the game? Because it was, interesting. Three Bridges were so poor. It was interesting. I wonder what the players thought.
Well, I can give Craig's and a couple of the others, but I can certainly give Craig's. And Craig's was, I don't think he broke sweat. I told him at the end of the game, I think you need to go out there and do a warm-up. I said, and he said, why didn't they want to play? He said, I spent most of the game saying you're 2-0 down. Why do you want to play it sideways? At least play it forwards and let me do something. which I found quite amusing. I was disappointed in several ways. One, that I forecast 3-0. So I'm disappointed in Ben for missing the penalty.
I 3-0 as well, Malcolm.
Yeah, 3-0. And I was totally disappointed. And then at half-time, we go back to the Corinthians game where they just think, well, let's see how the game pans out. And the second half became boring again, didn't it? It was just a procession, really. You're not even attempting to score. And, you know, I was disappointed after the first half where I thought we was all over them.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'm really looking forward to the second half. But when they went in at 2-0, I thought, oh, no, not again. And it was exactly what I thought. Let's just pan it out and see the game out. And they weren't interested in even kicking it forward, were they? Let's be fair.
No.
It was total destruction.
I reckon they had a couple of quid on 2-0 defeat.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because if I was Cray, I think they beat Cray and Ashford recently, haven't they?
Mm.
And if I was from Cray or Ashford, I would, watching that second half, I would have been checking the Asian betting patterns. I must have.
How do you beat Ashford 5-1 and then you don't even want to kick the ball forward against Hastings? I don't get it. They must have, their manager at half time must have said, let's keep the scoreline down to 2-0. Just keep kicking it between yourselves at the back. I mean, I don't think the number 5, I think he was the ginger-haired kid, I don't think he knew how to kick the ball forward at all. I'd like to see his stats on how far he kicked it forward, because I don't think he did. You know, and it was, I was disappointed, I think, in the second half. And I was glad the game was over. I was just thinking, blow the whistle, ref. You know, let's get in the bar. You know, it's
sort of tragic. We got 1,400 people there on a beautiful day, and it was just the most. It was just agony. The second half. I mean, it's great the way the home games teams are now just totally. They just want to get it done, get on their bus, and go home, don't they? It's great in some ways, but it's a pitiful spectacle, especially against a team who we all thought would come and give us a game. I mean,
not all of us, but yeah.
Okay, most.
No, not all of us, Andy. I didn't think so.
He's on my team now. Well, actually, Leon, you said 5-0, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Yeah.
My Super 6, mate. It's a shocking week again.
We're sort of used to seeing the team sort of, you know, a game of two halves, but normally we play a much better second half, but this time it was the first half. And I didn't think much of Three Bridges at all. Like, our 2 goals were so easy. Like, I just earlier, like the highlights went up, and like they had so much time just to head it in, and then for the second goal, Stoney's movement for an old centre back, bloody hell, I couldn't turn like that, and then put it on the plate for Finn like that. Yeah,
Nori's never getting back in the team.
No, he's not.
Never back in the team with him.
No.
I think that was funny. I thought from where we were, I thought that ball pinged back out the net so hard that I thought he'd missed and hit the boarding behind just to the side of the goal. It came back out of the net so hard he banged it in. I mean, both the headers were fantastic. I think the first goal was absolutely, even though it was easy passing through them, the first goal, Hasler's cross again with his right foot, which I'm sure he probably reminded everybody about in the dressing room, was a fantastic cross, and the header. So it was, at least it was worth it for the 2 goals, wasn't it? So
and should have got a couple more as well, shouldn't we? Really, obviously, it was a good save by the keeper, to be fair, for the penalty. But I mean, still a couple of other chances. One I remember was Hull gave it to Pope, didn't he? Squared it back in, and I think James had his Crocs on and sent it into the woods.
Oh, it was another sandwich job, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I felt for him a bit, actually, because I wonder whether his life flashed before his eyes. It sort of,
well, I was going to say, it's one of those moments, isn't it, where I've been there, you sort of think, oh, my God, I've got an opportunity. You lose all composure, you end up thrashing it, whereas 9 times out of 10 in training or whatever, you'd bury it.
Yeah.
But like you say, you just,
Talking of composure, Wills has definitely got some serious pussy problems here. What is going on with you?
I don't know. The cat
keeps knocking his phone over.
Oh. Well, I think the cat. I think she's thinking like me. What a load of old moaners you are.
Oh.
I mean, what I was thinking is that they were one of the form teams of our league, and look how they looked against us. I think that it kind of bodes well for going up a division, doesn't it? Because we are going into the unknown to a great extent, aren't we? Knowing how good our squad is going to be, you know, where we'll be, whether we'll be aiming for mid-table stability and then moving on the next season, or just a bit of an unknown, I feel, isn't it?
It's an interesting point, really, that what a peculiar game it was, because I thought there was some fantastic cross-field passing. James Hull, I thought, was really good. I thought really just got down there, went right at them, and it was like an attack versus defence. And
that was interesting, actually. I thought James played incredibly well given his position. I didn't like the way him and Ben were so far apart. I think that I felt that the way I didn't understand why James was quite so tied to the touchline as he was, which he made a very, very good job of. But I found sometimes that was the only, if there was any criticism, that would be the only thing that puzzled me a bit, why him and Ben were playing so far apart, whereas him and Parish played closer together. Ben was still winning the ball and that sort of thing. And sometimes it was a bit isolated. It was fantastic passing movements for the goal and the chances. But it was interesting how Ben sometimes seemed a bit isolated, and James was sort of hugging the touchline more than following in with him. Didn't matter, but it made it hard. He had to really put a shift in to do what he had to do. It was a lot of physical work he had to do, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Tom Chalmers was good again. I was
going to say, down that right-hand side, I thought that's where we looked most dangerous. Like particularly, TC doing his thing, bombing forwards, one touch, two touch, he's gone, beats his man.
But as soon as that second goal went in, they just give up the ghost, didn't they? Three Bridges, they just, which I really don't, for a team that are in such good form, you know, it only takes one goal to get you back in the game. I mean, I don't understand that attitude at all.
Yeah, I don't think they did their travelling fan justice at all, did they? There was no.
He was very disappointed.
Well, just to me, it looks like everyone else is bottling it, and we are just keeping strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just the dominance is making teams just, you know, they're just not interested. Just not interested.
Just doing what
did my microphone break up a bit there, or did I just hear Andy call them three bitches? It just sounded like it. I don't know. Perhaps it's his accent.
They've certainly gone to the dogs, John. Yes, they were on a tight leash.
My kazoo is out of reach. My kazoo is out of reach for that one.
I normally wait till the fat lady sings, but I'm starting to celebrate now, I must admit.
Yeah.
I think
yes.
if we can't win 2 games out of 5 with the running that we've got, then we don't deserve it anyway. So, I'm starting to celebrate already. So I think I'll drink to that.
Oh,
yeah. And the thing is, you can't see anyone else winning all their remaining games, can you? Is it Herne Bay look to be on a good streak, but they've got a bit of catch up to do anyway for the playoffs, I think. But you just can't see it, can you? We're the form team at the moment.
Cray have got to play Ashford on one of those weekends coming up as well.
They're all looking to be on form for the playoffs. They're not looking to overtake us anyway. No, you know, they're all looking. They're getting guys in with Michael West going to Ramsgate and that type of thing. Oh,
Huckle,
Herne Bay. Herne Bay. They're all looking to get in the playoffs and looking to be on form going in the playoffs. So it's they're not looking at us at all.
Did you see Ryan Huckle's gone to Ramsgate?
Yeah. They're all.
How many teams can a one man play for? I mean, he's definitely got the what did you used to get, the Tiger tokens? Do you remember when you got the decanter and he's probably got a few decanters at home.
Hang on, news just in. He's homesick. He's not settling in there.
Well, there is a little bit of controversy here, because if it is that this is going to, we know what's coming home. We know what's coming home, but 2 weeks from now, work have put me down to work that Saturday. So that's Faversham.
Faversham. I think that could be the game that makes it. I'm hoping that'll be the game that makes it mathematically certain.
So I might be a little bit late for that game.
I'm going to have a moan again, as I do most weeks, about people staying after the game. I know the club are concerned about, sort of celebrations, if you like, and getting promotion, and people not staying. I noticed again this week, as soon as the final whistle went, them gates are open and people are fighting to get out of them. So for any of our listeners, other than us on this round table, please stay and let the players, or help the players, celebrate the getting promotion.
Definitely with you on that,
make
Malcolm.
it enjoyable afterwards. It's we all seem to stay, but then gates open and I'll see people flood out at by 5 o'clock. The ground's empty and the bar's empty. It's let's not make it for the players that they're celebrating on their own.
Isn't it going to be a free bar when we? Didn't I hear Billy say it's going to be a free bar when we?
Yeah. Billy is going to buy. It's going to be a complete free bar that day. So I know he'll be listening, and I know he'll come on and agree with it next week. So.
No, that's a true say, that one. You don't have to stay for long, but it would be nice because it is a good atmosphere, and it's good to just be, meet up with the players and just wish them. Well done and things like that.
Yeah.
And obviously James Hull always gets a good, a warm welcome from us all, doesn't he, Leon?
Yes.
Yeah. But, no, love him.
That's interesting. See, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of just going at the end of the game. I must admit, I'm just not in the habit of, never have been in the habit of staying afterwards. I must admit.
So I've noticed that, Andy.
Yeah, it's noted.
Noted.
Yeah, I need to get back for the down to Morrison's for the 5 o'clock reduced stickers.
Fighting everyone off. The last bit of reduced chicken.
Elbowing.
That's it. Elbows at the ready. Rugby tackling those pensioners.
Yeah.
The nearest Waitrose is miles away, isn't it, Andy?
No quarter given.
I thought you were an Aldi man, Andy.
I'm an Aldi man.
Yeah.
Just I don't think Aldi do that sort of thing. They don't. I don't know. The price is what it is at Aldi, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, generics. Insert your own generic supermarket of choice here.
Buy double on the Friday night and stay a bit later on the Saturday, Andy.
Yeah, well, that's good. Top idea, Malcolm. Yeah.
No, but Andy, you've got to stay for when it happens. You got to.
Yeah,
stay
I know.
I mean, it is because you're a Man City fan, aren't you?
Well, technically, yes. I suppose very, very lapsed.
Yeah, so you weren't watching you were watching Man City. I would have watched back in the 80s and 90s that were pony.
Yeah, but the ones that were fun to watch.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not this. What would you call them?
This ruthless multi-million-pound machine. Yeah.
So you've never seen
Corrigan.
Success. We've got Success on
I suppose the success in those days was the odd promotion, wasn't it? So yeah, I suppose the most exciting thing that I ever saw watching City in my life was Paul Dickoff's equaliser against Gillingham at Wembley.
Oh, you went that game?
Yeah, when they were seconds away from basically, if he hadn't scored that goal, there'd be no Pep Guardiola, there'd be no nothing. And if he hadn't scored that goal, that's what people don't realise. That basically saved the whole club. And that was really, along with the England 5-1, I think, in Munich, that was two of my greatest ever footballing moments.
Well, you went to that game?
Which Munich one? 5-1?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
In fact, I still have. I've still got two plastic glasses that I've kept that I still have to this day from the game.
All right.
my Munich glasses for special occasions. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know.
Was that the Michael Owen got 4 goal game, was it? I'm trying to remember who scored the goals there.
Gerard
Michael Owen got a hat
Heskey,
trick, wasn't it?
Gerard Heskey and Owen got 3.
That was it for you. Went off a little bit sidebar there. So
should go to the bar, yes.
Yeah, you don't have to drink. It is recommended, but you don't have to drink. You can.
That's the only reason I didn't stay afterwards, because I was driving this week. So yeah, stick
A
to
club
lemonade.
exclusive that they're looking to get live bands for the celebration, or from now on, I think.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
I thought,
try and encourage people.
I thought we
that
booked
Pete
an
Heritage ain't in
Elvis,
charge
an
now.
Elvis singer.
What one?
I thought we booked an Elvis impersonator.
Oh, don't start about him again. Bloody hell. I've already dedicated the whole podcast to Sam Labatt.
Is there anybody on earth that hasn't been an Elvis impersonator at some time in their life? There seem to be so many of them.
Talking of impersonators, have you seen on the pier over the summer? There's a load of tribute bands. Like literally, any actor you can think of, like Robbie Williams, probably Elvis.
It'd be Bobby Williams, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. There's a Madness tribute band as well.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Yeah,
I'm
Madness. I think
I'm going to see a Fleetwood Mac one. Me and my missus.
Oh yeah, no.
That's a sign we've reached middle age, that, isn't it? Jumping around like
far past that.
And the fact that it's a tribute band is even better.
Well, I'm never going to see the real thing, so I might as well go see a pretend version.
No, the real thing are good.
Yeah. My missus went to the Dolly Parton and went on some hen dude, which took in the Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers tribute at the White Rock. That sounded fairly mint, I must admit. Sometimes these things can make for quite a fun night out. If you've got the right bit of your brain in, they're probably quite a laugh, I think.
Yeah, Dolly Parton. Anyway, right. Moving on.
That's a tangent, isn't it?
It is. I saw Chris Rea and Dire Straits billing together.
What tribute or like proper band?
No, proper band. Those Builders Diarrhea.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's really bad.
Moving on.
So we look forward to East Grinstead. So this Saturday coming, we got East Grinstead. It is actually non-league day, which is something that's been going on for about 12 years now. I have bugged East Grinstead about what they're going to do for non-league day, because there is other clubs in the non-leagues doing lots of bits and pieces for their game. I mean, it's just to boost up attendances, doing things for the fans. East Grinstead, the chairman, the head of media, all of the people completely all ignored me. And I've bombarded them on Twitter about it.
It's very much, maybe your shouting into the ether has very much amused me.
Yeah.
In fact,
have you noticed it? Have you noticed it?
It's got to the stage now where I think they will double the prices.
Just for me.
Yeah. You won't be allowed in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have just started saying, we'll just have 3 points off you then now. So, well, I did try. So
I think they probably think they're sort of probably feeling a bit hectored at someone informing them that royalty was going to be in town and what you're going to do about it.
Right. So East Grinstead, I think it will definitely be a tougher game than Three Bridges.
Do you?
I do. I actually do. I think that I'm thinking that we'll only win by the odd goal.
Wow.
So what do the rest of the panel think?
3-0.
God, strong there for Malcolm. Leon?
Yeah, 3-0.
John?
Oh no, that's a question. I think it's
if you
going
say
to be
1-1 to Hastings, I'm going to just cut you off. I'm going to cut you off. Go on.
I think 3-1 I'm going for.
Andy?
Yeah, I think they'll win. I don't doubt for a second they'll win. I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like 2-1 or something like that. But I think you've probably, I think the East Grinstead team will have a picture of you up on the dressing room wall, Chris, and I think
Frank Dart's here.
They'll all have all your tweets, quotes up on the dressing room wall, just to get them motivated.
I've emailed them, I've phoned them up. It's because this James Doe bloke who's running it, and he's got links with like the Premier League and all that, and it'd be good for them. And I don't understand, I don't know.
But this is all because Haywards Heath have put on a hog roast, didn't it?
Yeah, there's still some. There was this other one where they were giving out pummets of mushrooms. So what? One team bring out pummets of mushrooms. Bit random that. Yeah, right. So
can't say you didn't try.
Yeah, so we could talk about the non-dress wearing of Gary Histed. Are we going to go there?
I think it's best to let it. I think it's best to let it lie. I think it's probably not going to happen.
No, I know. I did sing at him that he let us down. So what can we
I
do?
think every time he lets us down, he's got to up it. So he's got to have a mankini tattooed on for the next one.
Is it possible that we should all embrace it and maybe go for the make the Lancing game? I mean, it's Easter Bank Holiday Monday. We'll probably have won the league by then. Make that a fancy dress day generally.
You just want to wear a dress, Andy, don't you? Yeah.
I'm looking at the five of us now. I'm thinking village people.
Oh, what?
There you go. Nailed it.
Yeah. I'll be the sailor.
I want to be the Indian.
There you go.
I'll be the construction worker.
Yeah, anything's cover that air.
I think that's putting me into the policeman uniform.
What's left? Or was there only four of them?
No,
I thought there's five, weren't there?
It's five, isn't there?
There was five.
Was it?
Hang on, let me get those people out of them. One sec.
YMCA has got, I don't know, YMCA. You need that. What did the other bloke do? The full stop. Construction worker, Indian, policeman,
Sailor,
and a cowboy.
Hang on.
One with a big moustache.
Oh, the cowboy.
Yeehaw.
Hang on. Here I come. Can we see that? It's probably this thing in a way, isn't it? Let me turn my thing off. Hang on. We need to do this properly. We need to do this properly.
He doesn't know that we've already know who they are.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, have you said that?
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Hang on. How to bring it
Where's
on?
he going? There you go.
Yeah,
Is
cowboy.
it?
Cowboy.
Hang on, there's six of them.
What's the guy in the middle? He looks a bit like a gimp. And that shiny black.
That's you, Leon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Oh,
Hang on. That's a bit controversial.
Leon
I'll get myself a gag.
Oh, hang on. Bring out the game. Oh, I remember that. Pulp Fiction, very quality film, that. Anyway, right. I think we've gone off on a tangent there, though. Right then. Do we want to talk about the fallout from the decision on the Tyne Kiln? Any quick words on that and the disappointment there?
I mean, we know what the council about, and I think as much as I sort of heard you discussing earlier, I think the trouble with these councils, it's all short-term goals, isn't it? Do they really want to put their name to something that's probably not going to give them the glory until about 4 years' time or something? I don't know. Because then they won't be sitting there anyway. Do you think it's anything to do with that? I mean, personally speaking, I think that statement that they came out with is a public statement promising full support in finding an alternative. Whether that alternative be, utilising the pilot field and all the ground that's above it as well.
Did you really get that from that statement they put out? You thought you really got that impression?
Well, they're making a public statement saying that they're going to, if you read it, that they're going to back the future development, albeit not this one.
On that statement, they come up with all this spiel about preserving green space, and that's why they refuse to sell Tile Kill, and yet they're more than happy to see 100+ houses go on Harrow Lane. So anyone that lives up in that area now have lost a massive space to go exercising on. They're happy to build on the floodplain down Bulverhive. Horntie's going, isn't it? I mean, in that statement, I can't remember if it was the statement or what Billy Wood put out. He's saying like he hopes that they're going to have a meeting soon. I don't know if it's just with Billy, but get the cricket club and hockey club involved as well, because people don't want to see Horntie go. I mean, I understand the reasons why, to go off on a tangent, talk about the cricket club, but I understand why those clubs want to move, because Horntie's been losing money since it was built. But the people of the town don't want to see cricket and hockey go outside the town, make it less accessible. So get everyone involved in the meeting, and like the original plan to have it down Bulverhive, where you would have had football, cricket, hockey, other sports, all one big development in the town, accessible. It just seems, sport in this town's it's a back.
It's not a priority. Yeah, it's not a priority.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not a.
And when they started talking about climate emergency and all that, I mean, that's when the slogans are coming out.
I think that was bordering on shameful to pull that rabbit out the hat, I must admit, because that's just it's just irrelevant in the context of this. And it was a very, very handy sort of thing to be able to pull out, because it's almost used as a trump card, isn't it? And no matter what you think of the climate situation, it's just irrelevant in the context of 2 football pitches. It's not the Amazon rainforest we're sort of ripping down, is it? It's, as Billy said, it's just 2 football pitches swapping for a couple more football pitches.
I'm sure Kev Tanner have something to say about that, Andy. Right. He's an expert, just so you know. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but I'm just saying it's outside of the scope. It's a gnat bite on a rhino's arse, isn't it? In terms of the climate emergency, it's just a convenient
slogan.
Pander to a certain type of person who probably doesn't like football.
Well, that's what I noticed in the statement. A little thing when they said, "Oh, I see you've got a women's team." It's like, oh, you're not really interested. Do you know what I mean? I just, to me, my buttons were pressed by it. I just thought, you know what, you the platitudes that were in there. Let's just see. So that's why I'm going to try and get him on.
We could pander to their new the new hipster vibe by going down the sort of, say it's a forest green sort of Dulwich Hamlet type sort of setup, with hipster jeans, boat deck shoes, and vegan food and the like.
You're thinking the Lancing game already, aren't you?
Yeah. We could say it's could try and take it into that sort of vein.
I don't know. What do you think, Malcolm?
It's difficult because I don't know the areas that you're talking about. But yeah, I find it very, very strange. But we're in sport, they're not, and that's the thing. They're thinking of voters, they're thinking of people that aren't in sport, and I just don't get it. I really don't get it. It's a short-term thing that they're looking at rather than long-term for the town, and very much for the environment. They're looking at what they've got to do to keep the government happy, if you like, and that's build houses in the right areas, and and sport takes a back seat, and we're in sport, they're not. And I keep saying it, and that's what it's all about, I think. But again, as I said a couple of weeks ago or last week, they've got to look at Maidstone and how it brings the town together, how it brings the people together, and that's what gets them votes, not building houses.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's the key, isn't it? That
it is about trying to make it. That's what, to Billy's credit, he's tried to make it all about Hastings as a place. Whether it's the kids kicking around at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, going through to the ladies playing on a Sunday afternoon. It's the whole thing is about Hastings as a town, and it is a incredibly It is a pretty diverse old group of people that gets up to the ground now, and it's going to be increasingly so as they carry on doing well. And it may take a year or two, but it might get to the thing is getting to a critical mass where they suddenly think there's enough people here. If they're doing the numbers and they're thinking, it doesn't matter if we piss off 1,200 people because that's only 1,200 votes spread all over Hastings. But if they start to realise there's a bigger groundswell behind it, then it might trigger a few more cynical instincts, which might be good for us. Because sadly, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
It's not just Hastings fans either. It's the general footballing community of the town. Like, they're all behind, because we all want to see decent training facilities. I mean, if Tarkiln had gone through, it would have meant the likes of Peshel, Rockingham, and the Social, who use the pitch now, play at that shithole basically, and would have got nice brand new facilities, potential for one of these clubs to go up a league or two. But talking on Saturday to one of my mates, Sandy's long time fan. He mentioned like the council are happy to chuck however many thousands at the White Rock every year to keep that going. Again, just to highlight where the council's priority is, isn't it? More,
and also there's this interesting
than...
situation now where the Jerwood Trust are trying to offload the art gallery, aren't they? And they're offering it to the council as a gift. I mean, if that isn't a poison chalice, then nothing is, because that's a bit of a money pit at the moment. But so it'll be very interesting to see which way they swing on that. Because if they should reject that out of hand, because that's going to be like the pier. It'll be another thing that was a great idea that's not quite hit the spot, that could end up draining them of cash if they're careful. So they need to be interested to see where that goes. And that's along the lines of what Leon just said about the arts side of it. I mean, arts is great, but you need a balance.
Those floodlights go on at 4:00 in the afternoon and go off at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And it's not, yes, all right, Maidstone are making money out of it because obviously they're renting out the pitches and the ground. But at the end of the day, it's not all about the football. You've got schools are benefiting from it. The FA youth are benefiting out of it. Hockey and even veterans are playing. And you've got 5-a-sides going on there every Friday and Sunday all evening. So it's a whole community is benefiting out of one football team having one pitch, if you like, that's for want of a better word, AstroTurf, and so it's bringing the whole town together. It's not just one football team, No, why can't the council see that? I really don't understand it.
And you think about it, if you give kids or youngsters no positive things to latch onto, they'll be the first ones to highlight the increase in crime and derived from the boredom. I mean, what is disappointing is like Hastings Observer. Really, there's a big story here. It would be good to get behind and run these things. Look at the statistics of, places where there's a successful football team and the decrease in crime rates and, the real buzz about the town and what an advertisement it is for the town. There's so many people that would benefit from them positively backing Hastings United.
That is also, the Hastings Observer now is, there is just not one scrap of journalism goes on as far as that's concerned at all. It's just sort of stories that are pumped into it and paid for stories and syndicated stories from their pretty nationalised owners, aren't they? So that we've got a problem there with the local press that's sort of almost dead in the water because of the way that local press is now just syndicated out through central organisations.
Well, might be in Hastings Independent this Thursday.
Yeah,
it might get in. I'm not sure.
That would be a good test, then, wouldn't it? It'd be a good test if someone wants to pick up on a real story.
Yeah,
I stopped reading the Hastings Observer when every other page a few years ago was a glamour shot of Amber Rudd kissing a child or something.
Well, now the website is just
you had that razzle, didn't you?
Every other every other article on the website is just trying to flog flats in Marine Court. It's just it's pitiful.
What you said there. Yeah. Well, oh dear. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say one last thing. Like, what would you guys think? Like, if it was to say, like, anyone listening to this now, or any support, any supporters, write to your local councillor, write to the MP, just saying you're concerned about the state of local sporting facilities in general. If they get, good number of people getting in contact about the same thing, then they can't ignore it.
Yeah, we could do that. We could. I mean, I don't know. I'm a bit more that these people don't listen unless you don't vote for them.
But the trouble is, it's cross-party ignorance. It's not like we can't. It's very difficult to think who do you vote out. It's cross-party ignorance, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends who was on that decision committee.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I do think some sort of campaign somewhere is worth thinking about.
Leon has just signed himself up for a job, Andy. Leon is going to put together a template that I will send out to everyone, and they can send that to their local councillor or MP. What about that, Leon? Or me and you'll do it. Me and you are right.
Yeah.
All right.
The only thing
what happens on general elections when they come and knock your door, when you want local councillors and you want them to come and knock your door and you say, what are your ideas on local sporting facilities? They never do that, do they? When it's in your head and you want them to knock your door and you open it and they go, I'm from the Labour councillor. What are you going to vote this year? And then you can go, funny enough, what are your ideas on local sporting facilities? And they go, we're very much into it. Really? And it just doesn't happen, does it? They don't do it at the right time, just when you're thinking about it. So,
but if you bring up potholes, James Bacon is on it, mate. Potholes owns potholes. Right.
And photo opportunities.
Yeah, there's a... Well, yeah. I also see...
No offence, I like him.
Oh, no. He's a nice lad. I've known him for years.
Yeah, he's cool.
Is the Faversham game going to be the one?
Yes, because I won't be there. I wasn't at the Ashford game. I wasn't at the Sittingbourne game. Two absolutely brilliant days. And Faversham away, I'm not going to get to because of work, basically. So, yeah, Faversham away, we've won the league because old Muggins here won't fucking be there.
When did you finish then?
2 at the latest, and if I can get away earlier, then great. But Faversham's that's at least.
Amazon never finished, Chris.
How far away Faversham is?
Malcolm's just told you there. Yep, Bezos. Because Bezos. That's all we're saying.
And can you stop going on about my hair? It is not actually a bald patch at the back. I was advised by my physician that during winter, your vitamin D levels go down.
Yeah.
And so that's a vitamin D port because you get out in the sun and that bald patch just drinks it in.
Okay.
So it's under medical advice, not a fashion statement.
What do you think, Andy? Do you think it's Faversham game then? That's the one?
Yeah, well, I think I'm sort of hoping that they'll win the next 2, and so the Faversham game will be the one where they make it mathematically impossible. That was my thinking. I originally thought it would go all the way to the Lancing game. Yes, originally, but then other teams kept on throwing points away. So it looks as though that is going to be the game, the way they're going.
Well, it looks like Faversham, maybe. And then, so we're all going to be dressed up for what game? I'm holding you to it. Lancing, some form of dressing up.
And we'll go on the train.
And we want to go on the train as well. Oh, that's going to be messy.
What we got at home then? So it's East Grinstead away.
Yeah, right. So East Grinstead away, Hayward Heath at home, Faversham away, then VCD at home, Lancing away, and then finally Sevenoaks at home.
I mean, Hayward's Heath will be a pushover because they've got 2 weeks of eating hod roast. They've got to use up. So I mean, yeah.
I just want it to be a home game. I must admit, I want it to be one
me
at
too.
home.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be mathematical or anything like that with an away game.
Mm.
If we actually win it mathematically, it's impossible for anyone to catch us. Do the league? Do they give us the cup for that game?
No, I think they can arrange. I think pretty much for a league, surely just pretty much arrange to have it presented on the last day of the season at home.
Yeah, that's what they did when we won it years ago, wasn't it? It was the last game. Funny enough, we played Ashford that day. Last home game of the season, we lifted the.
And the last game was Sevenoaks, and it's Sevenoaks at home in the last game.
I think that will be a set piece sort of trophy presentation, celebration type day anyway.
Do you reckon James Bacon will get in that picture?
I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Right, gents. Love you all. Malcolm, Leon, Andy, Johnny Wills, and his Vitamin D, whatever it was. Port.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. See you
Is he
again,
cutting
guys.
it short tonight? You cutting it short tonight, Chris?
Right, I've got to edit the bastard, Malcolm, yeah?
Oh.
It takes me hours. Yeah? You don't have to edit it. Yeah.
Hold on. Just let me look here for this violin. I think I've got it in the side.
It's a tough life in the broadcasting bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just know this. It's tough. Well, listen, no, chaps. Thank you very much.
I can't make it to the game on Saturday, so I'll wish you all the best, all those who are going. I'll be keeping in touch from afar.
Adamski's back on the radio, isn't he? So, yep, HU FC Radio will be back on air that Saturday, and I'm sure that Andy will be listening to the dulcet tones of Adam Carter.
Glued.
Are you there, Chris?
I am there, sir.
You there, John?
Yes,
in
I'll
his
be
car.
there with my lad.
Leon's not there because he's delivering stuff.
Fingers crossed. I'm hoping it's not too far. It's not too bad a drive there. So if I just chuck the Amazon parcels anywhere over the side gates,
just throw them out the window as you go along.
Yeah. For the record, if anyone's listening, it's just I do my job properly. In case there's any Royal Mail management listening, I'm a conscientious postman. I wouldn't dream of treating parcels like that. But hopefully,
has had a toilet break for 3 weeks.
no.
Take care, guys, and see you at the game. Yeah.
Yeah. See you
at the game.
Take care, everyone.
That we stand on for